Hey guys. Okay, so here's my Lightroom, and I wanted to show you just on a few images what my preset does. And then before we dive in, my goal for when I was creating my preset was to have it light and airy, but still have dimension. So like there's still some like black areas and dark areas, so that the image doesn't look flat, but with dimension and depth. And then I definitely whites to pop. I didn't want my whites to be dulled down. I wanted them to pop, and then I really wanted that like filmy green because years of just studying different types of styles, like the film edit is really where my heart was. So I created my own because that's just not out there. Most film edits the whites are extremely dulled down, and it was always just impossible to edit and make it how I wanted. So I created my own, and here we go. I'm going to show you what it does. So here are my presets here. This is the freebie that's going to be in your inbox this week. And why is the rainbow ball? Here we go. Okay, and then here is my signature preset. So I'm going to just click that, and then it automatically brightens it up. So I have my signature preset as my import preset. So as soon as I enter my images into Lightroom and import them, my preset's automatically applied. Okay, so now we're gonna begin. One of the first things I do is I always try to straighten it as best that I can, and so I do that by clicking this little crop tool, and then I click auto, and then the crop tool's lines tries to find a line that it can match. So I guess they took like the tree and this rope right here, and they tried to match it. And when I look, oh, that makes me a lot more happy. Okay, the next thing I do is I try to pinpoint, am I seeing too much yellow or blue? I'm going to look at this image. I feel like I'm seeing way too much yellow. So I'm going to cool this image down until I feel like it's not blue. Okay, and then the next thing I say to myself, okay, am I seeing too much pink or too much green? Right now I feel like her skin and his skin have a tiny bit of pink. So I'm going to start back at 0. And now I feel like it's a tiny bit green. So I'll bump that pink up just a little bit. So far I've only straightened the image, cooled it down, and then lowered the pinks just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm thinking, I think this looks great. And I've only changed the white balance. But I always like to see, I always kind of come to the blacks first and see if that can brighten the image a little bit more and make it pretty. And then I'll go to the shadows just a little bit. And I'm always looking at like, I don't want to lose the dimension and the depth in like her hair and his suit. But all I did was increase the shadows and the blacks. And looking at this image, I feel like I'm done. So yeah, that is how I would edit this image, and then I was done. So I literally straightened it up, cooled it down. You know, every single person will always probably have to tweak the white balance just a bit, but then after the preset, all I did was up the shadows and the blacks. And another thing that I did with my preset is I made sure that everything that I'm doing is in this basic panel, unless I need to like, if I messed up in camera, like, I don't know, did something crazy. But I was always going through, let me just show you how many tabs Lightroom has and how you can get overwhelmed. I feel like Lightroom is like Piccadilly, and that like you have so many, hold on, wait, you have so many options to change. And I was like, no. So I wanted something simple because I don't have time to go through 100 different things. So I changed them and then closed them up so that I'm only working with the basic panel and then sometimes this like tone panel right here. So that is the image, and I feel like let's just see what happens if I just increase the exposure just a tad. Oh yeah, there we go. And so at this point I'd be like, I'm done. Okay, so let's go to another image of Shelby's. Okay, so here is the original image. Now all I'm gonna do is come over here, click my preset. All right, now, first things first, I'm gonna straighten it up so that I don't, yeah, so it's not crazy. And then I ask myself, is this too yellow or too blue? This is definitely too yellow, so I'm gonna go and cool it down. Okay, that looks about right. Now, is this too pink or too green? Let's start back at 0 and see how it looks. I feel like that looks good. I might increase the pinks just a little bit. All right, the next thing is I'm gonna come over to the basic panel and see what it looks like if I just increase the blacks. That immediately softens up the image and brightens it up a little bit. And then let's see what the shadows does. I might bring the shadows back down just a little bit because I would still want his jacket to be nice and black. I increase the exposure by 1 and boom, done. So that was just using the basic panel right here. And let's do, okay, so this one is a completely different environment, different lens, different photographer. I'm going to import my preset, and then I'm gonna straighten it up. Boom. Okay, then I go to my temperature. Is this look too cool or too blue or too yellow? And I'm like, I kind of are getting a little blue vibe here. So I'm gonna warm it up. That might have been too much. Okay, next, am I seeing too much pink or too much green? And I feel like I might be seeing a tiny bit too much pink. So I'm gonna go to 0 and see how that looks. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna crop it in just a little bit. Okay, so now I feel like that looks good to go. But I always just kind of see like what'll happen if I kind of play around with the blacks and the shadows. I feel like if I do too much of that, we're gonna lose her dimension. Okay, and then let's just say I want more dimension. I'm gonna come down to this tonal curve and I'm gonna take the shadows way down. And if you see like how flat that looks, and then I bring it down and now there's dimension in her flowers and dimension in her hair and then dimension in the bushes behind her. And so I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the highlights a little bit more down because I felt like I saw some in her cheeks just a little bit. And then I feel like I'm missing a tiny bit of pop. So I'm going to up the whites just a tad. And bring the shadows down. I think that looks beautiful. So yeah, those are just 3 images using the preset, how I'm only straightening, making sure the white balance looks great, and then using the basic panel. And every now and then I use the tonal curve to adjust. And that is it. It's super simple because, like I said 100 times, I don't have time to go through 700 different panels. I really just wanted to stay here to make the image work. And yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. You can comment below. And if you want me to edit any of your images, then just email them to me and I'll get those in for you. And then, like I said, my preset is going to be available in just a couple weeks, but I am sending you a freebie preset. This one right here, which basically just lightens the image for you. And so you'll have that freebie preset in your inbox this week. So I will talk to you soon, guys.